This is Rise Plus Rebel, a podcast for people who refuse to abandon themselves to fit this world. Here, we talk about solitude, authentic truth, power, money, creativity, and the quiet action that changes everything. This season is about reclaiming what was never meant to be outsourced. Your voice, your intuition, your timing, your authority. I'm Aya Hodja, commercial real estate advisor and the founder of Rise Plus Rebel, and your host. If you're navigating the journey of life, especially when it feels lonely, uncomfortable, or misunderstood, well then, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Today, we're welcoming someone who rebels by redefining wisdom. My aunt, Dr. Krista, who blends ancient language, PhD level insight, and tarot magic. So let's welcome her to the show and let's rise with her.
It is such my honor, Aya, and it's so good to see you. And I'm really excited about some time, like personally, tete-a-tete with you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Krista, for joining. Let's dive in. So I know that you've been playing with the metaphysical stuff and practices, tarot reading and stuff. Would you and do you blend your Turkmen heritage with metaphysical practices?
My Turkmen heritage actually helped me just to make me who I am. If it wasn't for my Turkmen heritage, I would never have a chance to come to America. In the first place, I would never have a chance to put my name on the historical dictionary spanning 710 pages. And I would never truly meet God. Because when I first came to America, and it's soon going to be 31 years, I came as a PhD scholar winning a competition because I already did a lot with the languages. So the very first 5 years in America, it was very hard for me to get used to change of the life tempo. In Turkmenistan, a lot of people look right into your eyes, directly in your eyes. And then plus, to compare anyone who was born in America and grew up here, you always have your childhood friends. It's kind of like the Turkmen people say, wherever is your belly button, blood dropped first, And that's your homeland, So when you are born in America, it's your belly button blood dropped where it is, and it's motherland, fatherland. But also you grow up with lots of children who know you, and they know your progress. And that makes it kind of easy because there is all these people who you can reach for and who know who you are.
Thank you so much for sharing. Dr. Krista, when did you arrive to America? Because I remember you were one of the first family members to have arrived to America.
Well, actually, I already had my younger sisters, one in Germany and one in America, and they were both medical doctors with degrees. Yeah. So I was actually older, but I came later to America. So it was soon going to be 31 years.
Wow, okay. I just remember I have this clear image. I was a very little girl and I was still in Turkmenistan. And I remember you shipped us a package for the family. I don't know if it was the clothes or what it was, but I just remember such a great experience because I was like, wow, my aunt has a really good taste. And this energy just felt so yummy. And this was me when I was 10 years old. And I remember just receiving that package from you. It was just great taste. I felt the energy of just pure love that came from that box, surprisingly. I don't think I've ever really expressed that to you. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to do that right now. Yeah. Okay.
My ears are smiling.
So, Dr. Krista, how do you see the role of language, like your Turkmen dictionary, in preserving cultural wisdom?
Earlier, I said that it was exactly my Turkmen language heritage that helped me to find God in America. Because in America, I was kind of lonely. And it was taking me really quite a bit of time, even to feel like I have some roots here. I have something really unique about me. Like my 3 degrees in 3 languages. In the beginning, it was Russian philology, then it was English philology. And philology means language and literature. So the language command married to my very imaginative brain, From childhood, the dreams that I've seen, they were very important to me. And they all kind of came true too. Like some major events of my life, in the beginning, I would see it in metaphorical, symbolic form, but in my dream. And then it happened, like for real. So my imaginative brain and the real good command of three different languages. And three different languages, when we say Russian, it all connects you to all of the Slavic languages. Polish, Czech, Bulgarian, there are a lot of words crisscrossing with Russian language. When we take Turkmen language, half of it is Arabic and Persian. And when I was reading my Hindi poem, but that was a dialect of 16th century, Gurmukhi dialect. So when I read that for 18 years and 10,000 hours, and you're supposed to do it out loud, it starts with on car. There is word car. That is kind of in all the languages in the word karma. Word karma. But ek is the same as yeke in Turkmen. One single God for all. Is also Turkish word. Om is like when you do something and everything kind of like flows like water. You hit that process of flow and you are flowing and everything works out. You are on a good luck streak, you know. That's Om. In Turkmen they say "İşin only bolsun." Like when they first meet, like whatever you're doing, let your business have success. "İşin only bolsun."
There you go. She's already dropping.
If I say what in English, then that would be there you go. You see.
There you go.
So
Yes.
the very first line of that spiritual poem that I read for 10,000 hours, being out hour and a half every day for
Wow.
18 years. So I learned that about 15% of Sanskrit, because Sanskrit bleeds to all of the other Hindi languages, like in present and Turkmen language.
How interesting.
And then when I was doing a PhD on Turkmen language, when I was still a student, I learned that the Turkmen language was a 14th century bridge to all of the ancient languages. Some famous linguist said that, and I took that phrase for my PhD dissertation.
Wait.
So
you're saying the Turkmen language is from 14th century? Did I understand you correctly?
14th century bridge
Okay.
to all of the ancient languages.
So do you then recommend, or what's your intake on people learning the Turkmen language? What's your perspective on that?
I think all the people should go with the heart, you know. Say whoever wants to learn language, not necessarily Turkmen. I mean, I think people like rarely someone would like learn unless it's kind of like practical, pragmatical necessity, you know, because your career kind of connected to this.
Yeah.
But I think everyone can study any language. Like I had some French. I never really learned to speak it, but I had it to the point like when I hear the French song, I can kind of like understand it.
Yeah, I feel like when you speak a different language, I mean, you kind of exercise your brain more too, right? It's a good cognitive exercise. I did have a question for you though, Dr. Anna Krista. What inspired you to write the Turkmen dictionary?
Can I say something about the neurological point first? Whenever you learn a different language, you have a new part of the brain, kind of like this large, that has a totally new talents and unique abilities helping you to think. So, for example, I speak professionally 3 languages. It means my brain is really neurodiverse in thinking and connecting things, kind of like understanding what is beneath things, you see? And plus, it's kind of good. Like, I had enough trauma in my life. I had my deal, you know. I want my older age to be like smooth and harmonious and happy. But people, like when they lose a language because they've been in an accident and kind of like that part of the brain, they can speak the other language if they had it in their brain.
So tell me, what inspired you to write the Turkmen dictionary?
You'll be surprised.
Surprise me.
Every event in my story is kind of like a story, you know. So when I first came to America, winning a competition as a PhD scholar. There was a man, he was with the project, Turkmen language project. I met him actually in Ashgabat, and it's because of him, because we flew together from Moscow to Ashgabat. He gave me this paperwork to participate in competition. And I helped him with the Turkmen project while in Ashgabat in the first place.
That's so nice.
The thing is, if I would go with my spiritual story, I mean, I didn't believe in God until I was a student of English faculty at the age 33.
Wow.
And I graduated English philology in 2.5 to be exact, because I already did the Russian philology in 5 years, and I paid my own way for English faculty. And so we had some American teachers.
Okay. So who
I think it's Jesus Christ.
that
That's why my
inspired
name
you?
is Anna Krista now, and not
So
Dr. Jaren.
that's well, I mean, like, okay, let's unpack this for a moment. Was it
Okay.
Jesus that guided you to write the Turkmen dictionary? Is that how you found God and you're like, I need to share this wisdom? What was it exactly? Like, how did you?
Before even coming to America,
Yeah.
there was a Canadian lady in our university where I became a student again. And by the way, I was 33. I was wearing mini dresses on a high heels.
Okay.
So anyway, and we had some Canadian and American teachers, and there was this girl, Canadian girl, Florence Friesen. And one day, and I was 33, and 33, if you want to know, it's the age when Jesus Christ died on the cross. And some Russian, very famous, like writers, Pushkin, Lermontov, I think it's possible it was their age of death too. So kind of like 33. 22 is you are too young, but 33 is kind of like your first master number, you know, when you become 33.
I felt that too, actually. I remember, I think my mom was saying something how it was my sister-in-law too who were saying 33 is a very angelic number and it's very holy. So that explains why now. Thank you so much for that context.
It's kind of like this year of the fire horse. You have fire from heaven and fire from earth. It's the hottest year in 60-year cycle. Fire horse, fire, fire. 333 stands for fire, so it's like fire, fire.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. So
So
Florence Friesen was a lady
Uh-huh.
who said, "Would you like to know what God is?" I said, "Sure, give it to me."
Uh-huh.
She said, "Give me your hands." I gave her my hands like this. So she took her hands and she covered my hands like this. So her hands were over my hands like this, yeah? So she covered it like this. And then she began praying. And because I'm very body sensitive and field sensitive, I'm a healer, as you know, for 30 years. I'm 28. And like without touching a person, I can sense a person, what's wrong, where. Not quite like anatomy, but I still can feel like anything, like where something is going on and like how to heal it. You know, I can feel it through the distance. Anyway, so I felt like there was this light coming through, like a white vertical column of light, and it was like carrying me, white light. And it wasn't first time in my life when I experienced that light, but it was very tender energy. So she was holding my hands and she looked right into my eyes. Two eyes into the eyes, looked. And she began praying. And she began, "Jesus Christ, like Father in heaven, I wish that you will watch over this young lady and you will be la la la la la." And it felt like it went forever. And I felt kind of like, you know, when you are in the ocean and you
Yeah.
can totally relax and there are warm waves going through you, like, and you feel like it's kind of like new sensations over your body, you know? Some go over your heart, some go over your right side, left side. And it's like, wow, what's going on? But I'm like so attentive and I'm listening. And it felt like it went like 20, 25 minutes. And when she finished, I felt like I was a changed person.
Okay.
I only know that I used it like, even like to heal other people. But it was like seeing angels with your eyes open, archangels, and like doing a little constellation family therapy, you know, in the field.
Wow. So you just picked up on that energy? Like you mentioned that you guys were holding hands and you just felt.
She held my hands, both of them, all 10 fingers. And I think probably the tips of the fingers are very powerful because they exude the ray of light, you know. And I think her tips of the fingers were kind of like catching the center of my palm, which is kind of like in the body corresponds a little bit to the heart and a little bit like to the middle of the body, all of the abdomen. I'm an encyclopedia. I was called even by people walking spiritual encyclopedia. We just can meet again.
Well, good. I'm glad and I'm grateful because, yes, I would love to have you back and we can unpack other topics that maybe we don't have the time to do today. But I did want to ask you, was that your first experience, that spiritual out-of-body experience or in-a-body experience with that lady, or?
It was inner and outer all connected. It's like when you experience like total harmony, synchronistically.
So you mentioned something that I wanted to circle back on about God. And what was your experience about meeting God? Was there a point in your life where you didn't believe in God? And what was that experience like, meeting God, finding Him for the first time? Was it something dramatic or just something natural for you?
I can tell you that. I can tell you that now I live in a totally different dimension. I had a lot of teachers. One of them was Yogi Bhajan, Kundalini Yoga. I had a lot of trainings, a lot of teachers. But he said this thing, if you don't see God in all, you don't see God at all.
Say that again.
If you don't see God in all, you don't see God at all.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Now it's my age and it just everything how I, explored and experimented with the fact of my life. I had a very intense, dense with the events life. And actually changing name did help because letters, they give you the events sometimes. My old name had 4 E's, and E is the letter that gives you events. So I'm glad that I can be kind of like quiet and calm in my life right now. But God is present, is absolutely like in every microscopule of the air and things and objects and people all around me. And it's my ocean that I breathe.
That's beautiful.
Calm, quiet, blissful. And even when there are challenges, it's very easy for me to yield to that ground that is all around me. But it was for sure a huge journey to get there. That began with that Florence prison event that I shared in detail.
Say that again.
With Florence, that girl.
Okay.
Who took my hands and prayed.
So you found God in your early 30s, would you say?
33. I was exactly 33, Jesus Christ age.
Wow, that's beautiful.
But you see, the thing is, at that first time I was in Moscow, Russia, I went to the church and I got Christed. I mean, in Orthodox Russian church, It was the whole ritual. I'm not going to go into detail. But later, when I was, 38, I think, the work on the dictionary has finished. And I found Kundalini Yoga, and it came with advertising that Japji poem. Japji means Song of a Soul, written in 16th century by Guru Nanak. That's the poem that I read for 10,000 hours out loud, 18 years.
Wow.
So, and when I got the advertisement for it through Kundalini Yoga and through that poem, because the thing is, when the work on dictionary was done, and I was 38 when the work on dictionary was done, because it was so much scrupulous brain work, mental work,
Yeah.
Every day, like about 10 hours, like sitting and like trying to translate exactly to hit that little. I have a really good sense of language, with 3 languages. And we never mentioned English connecting all Latinic languages, German, French, Italian, everything. English. So, but I felt like my brain was so dried out by that dictionary work. And I thought, actually, if I had 2 students, I would be teaching in IU, but there was only 1 student from Switzerland. Okay. And so I didn't get that job to teach in IU. And then I had to look around and I invented a business for myself. And that's how I roll since 98. Fall of 98, I opened the business. And so your question.
That was the question of how you found God. But let's expand our topic a little bit more. You got into your business. What was it that you were doing? Because I know you mentioned you are a healer, and I know that you heal. I know that you are sensitive in energetical way, right? Like, what's your sensitivity like? What's your healing approach like? Tell us more about that.
Okay. When we look into human body, and every human being who is aware of himself or herself, people think that the contours of my body, his shoulders, chest, this is me, but that's only one body, physical body. And then emotional body is where your soul lives. And actually emotions and brain are intensely connected. So our second body, and I'm not saying like 7 or 8, like an intrinsic picture, just 4 basic bodies, you know. So this is our physical body. And then on the outstretched hand, we have our kind of like aura, our egg, our personal space. In this space, that's where your emotions float as well. And emotions, your soul is woven from emotions. It wants to feel. You are born to go your own path of emotions. Like soul chooses to go through experiences that because of that she develops. She learns more and more love and how to love. But the emotions, they don't just keep out here. Unprocessed emotions, unworked emotions, they make their way inside the body into different organs. And it's very well mapped by acupuncture, for example. It doesn't sit like in something invisible, it actually real frequency. And it vibrates a little different than the organ vibrates. And that slowly starts changing the blood flow, actually, because it changes the blood. Blood starts changing, like healthy heart supposed to birth joy and calm too. But if the blood is running, you know, and like the organ has that irritation, for example, then kind of like everything invisible, it merges in oneness, you know. And so that emotion sit here and then starts kind of like becoming to the point like with time, with the compromised digestive system, there are undigested particles circulating and they start kind of like tiny particles start getting lodged in there because that emotion is there. And the whole thing gets kind of like gluing the connective tissue around that. And that's how the connective tissue sort of like pulls into one place and then we get this, you know. People, if person is not fluid and open, there are like restrictions inside the body, you know. Anyway, so that's the second body, emotional body. And you have to be fluid in your here and here. So it really makes sense to develop huge awareness about what your emotions are. And then there is mental body. And then there is spiritual body. But I can go on if you please.
No. I mean, I get it. That makes a lot of sense. That's the reason why we have like, I mean, what's the word? How do you say that in English? Balячки?
Hurts, little hurts and pains.
Pains. There you go.
Wounds and traumas.
Yeah. And I know like I've been watching you you know, throughout your journey as well, where you've shown again, I can't even put them in words because I don't even know what they are, but you've been flying around in your space, really fully expressing your energy, fully expressing through your body. And I feel like you've also maintained a very healthy lifestyle as well. I'm assuming that that's the reason why, is because you kind of want to release that negative energy. I know you work with a lot of energy through other people. So can you tell us more about that process?
Do you have understanding of connective tissue?
Connective tissue. I think so.
Okay.
Not a PhD level, but I think so. I think the basic level, I get it.
It's really easy to explain. A lot of people really like it, kind of became a fancy thing now, you know. Fascia. It's called fascia, not fascia. It's fascia.
Okay.
Fascial release. Myofascial release, connective tissue release. So when you cook a chicken, raw chicken in front of you, you understand that if you want to kind of like separate skin, you cannot just like pull the skin because it's like enmeshed into the leg, for example, yeah, chicken leg. So you cannot, unless you take a knife and you separate like that white film, you know, chicken and muscle, you know. You cannot like just like pull however strong you are because the white film is the fascia, is the connective tissue. The chicken is dead on the kitchen table. So the fascia is collapsed. When we are alive, that white film is kind of like lacy. It's actually really mind-blowing, you know, because I know you love spirituality. I know a lot of people understand that spirituality, light of God, comes with the white light. And if you could visualize and understand the kind of like the most intricate white lace, you know, but it's kind of like multi-dimensional white lace. So it's not like 3D or even 4D. It's kind of like this. The whole web, like holographically, keeps moving, dynamically changing, you know. So that's how we are inside. That's connective tissue inside. That's what gives us shape and holds us together. And it's one thing, top to bottom.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And it has like gel-like substance and water. Water itself is kind of like fourth state of water. You know, water can be just like liquid that we love, yeah? Then it can be ice very hard, and then it can be steam hot. But there is also fourth state of water called is water, easy, is water. And it's a magic water. And that is inside the connective tissue. There are books about it, the fourth state of water is water.
Yeah, speaking
Yeah.
of magic water, isn't there, I've seen online, there's videos where they say, oh, if you talk positive affirmations into the water and then you drink it, you're kind of embodying that
Yeah.
affirmation. Do you
Yes.
do anything like that?
I actually just recently got into that kind of ritual.
Nice. How often do you do that? I've been thinking about it. Haven't done it.
Well, you know, the best thing to do with your water
Yeah.
is to have it in a really good bottle and then freeze your bottle in the freezer
Okay.
and then thaw it and then find a couple crystals, whichever qualities you want. I have pink for unconditional love, rose quartz, and I have white crystal there.
You put it in the water?
In the glass that where I charge my water.
Wow. Okay.
I have 2 or 3 bottles always that are thawing,
Uh-huh.
and then I have a crystal glass with 2 crystals in it. It's just a regular mountain white crystal, and then the pink quartz. And so when I pour my water, I say what I want to it, and I thank it. So I charge it, and it keeps charging. And 15 minutes, it's ready to drink. But it's always charging. It's always full. And then when I drink it, I kind of like, remind it what I said and drink it that way.
Nice. I love that. I am definitely going to have to look.
Frozen water changes its taste. It becomes really tasty.
Okay. So you put the crystal first and then you freeze the water, or?
No. Crystal is just in my glass on the counter.
Oh, gotcha.
The
Okay.
bottles. First I freeze them and then I thaw them. And I learned it when I was a teenager reading Russian books, you know. I read that like if we have a really good winter, like
Yeah.
ice and everything, you know, then the spring is really good too. Because in like natural ponds, natural water, it's like when it freezes. You know, the scientists found out long time ago when ice becomes melting, there is like a really huge variety of life in that water that just came out of the winter, out of ice. And it's like life is like brimming there. It's like life statement, you know? So water, it can connect all kind of things, especially if it's moving through the not so good and old pipes. So when you freeze it, that freezing helps it to restructure it.
Cool. Okay.
And
Good
it
to know.
remembers its own like original kind of like clarity and possibly even like hexagonal nature, which makes it good for absorption in the body.
Wow. Okay.
Because people drink water, but not everybody absorbs it even.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Okay. I'm gonna have to give this a try. That you've inspired me, Dr.
And the
Alex.
taste becomes so good. It's like, everything changes with the frozen water when you thaw it and drink.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's really nice to just kind of honor Earth and its gifts that it has for us, the people. And I think going the route of water and communicating positive affirmations and then drinking that, I think that's like one beautiful way of staying in touch and connected to Earth. So yeah, you've inspired me. I'm gonna definitely put that in my daily routine as well. I don't think it ever hurts to have more positivity in your life. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna Krista. I have a question for you. How do you think a person can rise into their power while embracing ancestral wisdom?
I think embracing ancestral wisdom is not just its necessity, because quite a bit of things, I mean, we come on the shoulders of the giants, and every human being in the ancestry has the people who were giants. But also, the thing is, you see, it's a big science about ancestry. Every human being comes like our mom and dad stand right behind us, right? And behind each of them, there is another mom and dad. And the human being always carries forward himself, herself, and 6 more generations. So altogether, I think it's like adds to 127 people. You are one, and 126 more. And they are, each one of them directly is affecting who you are and also how your life flows. Because things that were not, didn't have unfinished gestalt in the past, they still try to push themselves through the bloodlines and through the family. And they still kind of like want to open every human being who comes like, is this gonna fulfill our life destiny, family destiny, you know? And it's the energy that keeps coming through us. Among those 126 people behind us, right? And we are 127 now leading, you know? So, and until we will go through 6 generations, our energy will also keep pushing through our descendants, you see? It's continuous process. It's the field. In the field, all people are connected. We are all one. So there are people among those 126 people who suffered a lot because they did some wrong things and possibly they were excluded through the family and forgotten. When it happens in the life fabric of behind you, there are empty spots. And unfortunately, when the bloodline carries forward, there is a child and you don't know, like, I gave everything to this child. How it happened so much darkness happened to the child? Why did he make such wrong choices? Yeah. But it because that empty spot, it's like a black hole sucking the energy.
That makes actual sense. That
So
really does.
everyone has to be acknowledged and given their place and actually thanked that they were born. It's like, yeah, it's like goes into the ancestral ritualistics, but everybody has to be included.
So you're basically saying, let me just kind of summarize so that I understand you properly, that it's almost like our soul's path that we have to honor through the ancestry. Did I get that right? Do I get an A plus?
I think we should honor our ancestry and also we should honor people coming forward. Like every human being has a responsibility, you know, at least to make himself like, you know, release all of that. But you cannot just release it. You have to like fill it with something. So there is actually very easy and very gracious and beautiful. And it's so simple. If just people kind of like could like catch the essence of it. Very simple how you can work with these things. Maybe it's a point for another meeting.
All right. Well, we'll table that for another time. Dr. Anna Krista, I really appreciate you being on here and for sharing your wisdom with us. Do you have anything to share? One last thing that you would want to share that we may have not discussed in this session?
I want everyone to do a little research on fascia, connective tissue. And doesn't mean fascist, like, 1941 war that was there. No, fascia is a connective tissue, and it's kind of like God-given beauty inside us. It's very responsive. It's like magical. It tightens, and that's what creates pain, because blood vessels and nerves go through connective tissue. And when it tightens, but we can release it. We can work on ourselves and our family and like loved ones and like release it. But the thing is, it's kind of like God's given beauty inside us, like this white lacy structure that is our consciousness. Actually, it holds all the memories and something that people don't talk about. The thing is, like all of the humanity, all of the nations, all of the countries, there is invisible connections between us.
Okay.
And we all have to rise together. And that will be possible if you know that you are made of that connective tissue. It packs you inside out, like from tip of your toes to the top of your head. And it's so beautiful. It's like spiritual structure of white, like something like really beautiful. And it's so responsive. As soon as you start humming, working with the images, through the working with sound and image, you can unpack yourself totally. So you don't, that trauma doesn't carry forward to the children after you, or even like your siblings and their children, because it all moves together. So if people only understand the power of fascia, connective tissue, and then even like people who like, if they will watch it and it will grab their heart or throat, like, I want to do something about it. Because that fascia, it's invisible, but it's between us, between all the people. We are all connected with those invisible life threads.
Okay. I love
That's
that.
how we ascend humanity.
All right. Well, everybody, you know now we all have homework, so we're going to have to report back to Dr. Anna Krista about our findings. Dr. Anna Krista, speaking of reporting back, how do we find you so we can submit our homework or even maybe get in touch with you and have a deeper conversation one-on-one? Can you tell us?
Yeah. For me, rainbow means exactly that beautiful harmony when all of the colors can live in a total harmonious arc of life connected to divinity. So three words. You just have to remember three words. The first word is rainbow. Life.
Yeah.
So if you connect them all, you are living inside the rainbow. So it's the first word is rainbow. Second word is gold, like a pot of gold under the rainbow. Rainbow gold.
Okay.
The
Rainbow
third
Gold.
word is school.
Rainbow Gold School.
Rainbow gold school. And then of life and spirituality.
Of life and spirituality. Okay.
Yeah, but I think life and spirituality will pop up. Rainbow Gold School, it has things like my 6 Facebook pages, and I'm on TikTok as Champion Tarot.
Nice. Okay.
Anna Krista Goya or Champion Tarot.
All right. You heard it here first, y'all. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna Krista, for joining us, and I look forward to our next conversation with you.
Aichka, I love you. I hug you. I bless you. All kind of blessings be yours.
Yes, of course.
You know, even the grumpy people, if they truly see the rainbow outside, they can't help but smile.
That's true.
I also like that about rainbow.
Yeah. Like there's nothing negative to say about a rainbow. Like you really have to be hurting deep inside to go against the rainbow. Like, wow. Yeah.
Eat light, eat the rainbow, eat light. By the way, that's a very good advice. Like, the richer is your diet, like a fresh diet, the richer colors you consume, the stronger is your immunity.
Okay, that's true.
Because it begins with the gut.
That's a good point. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna Krista. You're the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Blessings to all.
If something in this episode landed, stayed with you, or stirred something honest inside, please let me know. You can find me at www.risewithaya.com. That's where everything lives, the podcast, my writings, and ways to connect. So I'd love for you to follow me on social media and tell me what you want more of. That can be topics, questions, or conversations you're craving. Rise Plus Rebel isn't just a podcast. It's a community built around truth, presence, and becoming your authentic self. So until then, don't rush your journey. Honor every moment of it.